All we are is dust in the wind, dude.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most interesting theories about what might happen to us after we expire.
Isn't it amazing? Is this what you thought it would be? I certainly didn't.
I don't know what it is yet, do you?
No, I guess I don't.
Number 10. Doat and the Judgment of the Dead. The stories and myths about what happens when we die are many, with countries and cultures often sharing ideas about a soul's journey into the afterlife. The ancient Egyptian believed in an underworld known as Doat, a place over which Osiris reigned and where souls encountered spiritual challenges. It was only after these varied challenges were conquered that these dead souls might encounter the gods Anubis, Thoth, and Ammit, while having their hearts judged. Should the soul's heart be too heavy when placed opposite a feather from the deity Ma'at, then the person would be devoured by Ammit. However, if that soul's heart passed the test, then they would be allowed passage into Aru, an Egyptian equivalent to paradise.
If the scale's balanced by the time you end the journey, then a soul is permitted to pass into the field of reeds.
What if they don't balance?
You get thrown overboard. Whee!
Number 9. Spiritual Levels Theory. One of the most interesting things about the afterlife is its status as the ultimate unknown. There's no definitive answer about what happens, and this makes theories such as Edgar Cayce's tenets of spiritualism just as valid as any other. Cayce was an alleged clairvoyant who gained fame and notoriety thanks to his mysterious trances and prophecies. His spiritual levels theory was rooted in astrology and presented various states of being that were analogous to the 9 planets. Cayce's afterlife was one that provided ultimate freedom to these traveling souls, an ability to visit the creativity of Neptune or experience the eternal love of Venus. It's a theory that ties in strongly to Cayce's influence upon the New Age movement. Number 8. Pessimist Theory. Those espousing a pessimist theory to the afterlife could point to several literary quotes as reasons for their feelings. These quotes include Shakespeare's "Hell is empty and all the devils are here," or "Hell is other people" by Jean-Paul Sartre.
Hell is empty, and all the devils are here!
Why, that's my spirit.
It may sound melodramatic, but the pessimist focuses less about what happens after they die, because they believe all of humanity has already expired. Or perhaps they feel that existence itself is so routine that the only rational approach is to pessimistically await an unknown future. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer expanded on this, commenting upon how life is a constant state of dying versus a will to live, and that only through the bringing of death can the soul find release and potentially happiness. Number 7. Paranormal Theory.
There was a little girl, she was about maybe 8 or so, and she looked at me and she said, "Why are you dirty?"
This next theory is fairly popular because it provides something with which we can emotionally relate. The paranormal theory deals with the study of parapsychology, a pseudoscientific belief in ghosts, hauntings, and events that can't be explained. Leaving our loved ones behind after we die is one of the most painful things about the afterlife, or at least within our perception of it. So what happens if we can retain that personal contact?
We must all learn to live together, the living and the dead. If you're dead, leave us in peace.
The paranormal theory presents this idea that connection after death is possible via the utilization of psychic medium or some other form of communication. However, this also brings to the table the idea of souls being lost with some sort of unfinished business, which sounds somewhat tragic, to say the least. Number 6. Egocentric Theory. The egocentric theory basically posits that you are the center of all things, and so the universe began with you and will end with your death. The philosophical writings of Friedrich Nietzsche are often associated with this theory, with some taking the viewpoint that egocentric theory on the afterlife places nearly all of the control within the goals and desires of the deceased. These people surmise that since death is an unknown, what awaits us can be manipulated and made into anything we wish. If we truly believe that we are the center of our universe, then maybe so too can we conquer death and find an afterlife that suits our innermost desires.
I don't want to be God. I want you to decide what's right for me. I surrender to your will.
Number 5. Uncertain Theory. It's nearly impossible to separate theorizing about death from the great philosophers of the world, including Denmark's Søren Kierkegaard. The man's existential philosophy left a lot of room to interpretation when it came to the afterlife.
What does it say to you?
It restates the negativeness of the universe, the hideous, lonely emptiness of existence.
This comes down primarily to Kierkegaard's assertion that death in the afterlife is a, quote, uncertain certainty. Everything dies. We know this. Kierkegaard argued that possessing an uncertain theory about the afterlife may not necessarily affect what happens to us, but can affect how we live our lives in the here and now.
I know the pain it'll pass in time. You know, it might seem hard my saying that, but it's true. Life goes on.
A person who believes in the uncertain theory of death may choose to live in a manner of hedonistic excess, or may conversely live in a simple manner, in the hopes of some great cosmic reward. Number 4. Plato on the Soul. The Phaedo, a treatise on the soul by Greece's famed philosopher Plato, echoes the sentiments of Plato's mentor Socrates, who espoused that the soul is immortal. Socrates was condemned to death by the Romans on account of his deviation from their state religion.
Himes, uten anno, blanconiotos. Ha!
Yet Plato's dialogue accepts his teacher's idea that the soul will travel after the body's demise. Plato spoke specifically about a soul's judgment, with the just entering the fields of asphodel, while the wicked are condemned to torment in the pits of Tartarus. There are connections here to both other ancient religions as well as Abrahamic ideas of heaven and hell, while Plato also ensured to allow for a place of limbo known as the Acherusian Lake.
Good afternoon and welcome to Judgment City. You've just had quite a little journey, so for now, relax and enjoy the ride. Considering the transformation you've just been through, you really won't have any choice.
Number 3. Biocentrism.
I wanted to see if I went in, could I finally escape? Like actually die.
The idea of a connection between consciousness and the cosmos is revisited within the theory of biocentrism. This philosophical construct by Boston-based doctor and author Robert Lanza offers that biology and consciousness molds the world around us, and that the afterlife may take place over the span of multiple universes. It's a theory that brings up potential feelings of déjà vu throughout endless multiverses as our consciousness travels. It may sound like the stuff of Marvel Comics, but biocentrism, like any other afterlife theory, provides an interesting outlet for the ultimate unknown. Number 2. Solipsism. All life ends. It's perhaps the path of the agnostic, the skeptic, or the atheist. The theory of solipsism places all of the emphasis upon consciousness and the mind. Knowing this, a solipsistic theory concerning the afterlife essentially means that all life, all existence, will end once the mind is gone. Then again, this idea of total oblivion also brings with it the absence of pain and of loss.
Somebody died. It was me.
As a result, the solipsist might very well welcome said oblivion, if only to quiet the nagging question of what happens that lurks within us all. This theory feels similar in tone to pessimism or even nihilism, while also acknowledging the potential for peace at the end of all things. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. Rebirth and Reincarnation.
In your revelation, you spoke of the consequences of an individual's life rippling throughout eternity. Does this mean that you believe in an afterlife?
Just as the eternal return theory espouses the potential for differing outcomes for differing deaths, so too do theories of rebirth and reincarnation offer up hope for another chance. Many Indian religions espouse beliefs in reincarnation, an experience that sees the spirit take on a new physical form after death.
And you choose the life that suits you the best. You know, end up in a womb, and you're reincarnated. End of story.
This cycle of death, rebirth, and reincarnation may be connected with attaining the spiritual plane of nirvana. The religion of Jainism even offers up the idea that reincarnation may not solely be limited to the human experience, but we may even return as an animal or plant. All of these scenarios, at the very least, offer up intriguing food for thought.
It could be that he's already been here. Not as Bill the real estate agent, but in a past life as a student named Kevin.
Can you think of any theories we missed? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.